Hello Canterbury, it is Wednesday the 10th of September. Thank you for joining us today on Canterbury Live. Well, first of all, I need to do a shout out to Ernie Crawford. He is a viewer and he sent a lovely email today to thank us for a book he'd won, and he didn't say which book it was, but I think it was a chat that we had on about health and so forth. But the nicest thing was he took the time to say thank you, and apparently he has had so much help with his own health. So good on you, Ernie, and thanks for watching Canterbury Live. Well, big news overnight, wasn't there? Hello, there's another baby on board. Yes, there is. Kate Middleton is pregnant again. They had to come out with the announcement only at 8 weeks because she's had to cancel some of her engagements. She has really bad morning sickness, and if you can remember, she also had it with young Prince George. Really funny. Prince Harry was interviewed about, what do you think of now there's another royal coming along and you'll be down the pecking order, and he was like, yeah, it's great. And he had a couple of funny things. He was giving his brother William a bit of ribbing, saying that he can't wait to see his brother go through sleepless nights again and hopes he has a girl to have even more grief. Isn't he a good brother? See? It doesn't matter, he's a royal. Well, coming up on today's show, we meet Gillian Stewart to talk about what the Lions Club are doing in the community. She tells us about an exciting women's expo, and we head out to Rangiora Vet to check up on Clyde the dog. But first up, I have some very sad students here. It's actually quite distressing that they're here today, and thank you girls for the courage of coming in. But not really. You're not really that sad, are you? No. But you are sad. Yeah. I'm joined by Claire Vandervout and Rhiannon Churchward. Thanks, girls. Now, Rhiannon, just the shout out thing, you're from Riccarton High School.
Yes.
And I've learnt something today that Claire is from Oxford School, and they go right through to year 13.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah. Learn something every day. Thanks, girls, for coming on and talking to us, because you're part of the National Leadership Program, is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Rhiannon, explain what is SAD to those that don't know.
So SAD is a student-run peer leadership program where students get the opportunity to help run events and educate each other on the issues surrounding dangerous driving. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. And you're a bit of a petrol head, I hear,
yeah,
Claire.
like cars.
So it's quite handy that you're into this.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with SAD?
I got involved through someone else who was on the National Leadership Program in school the years before I actually joined, and kind of just having a peer who kind of pushes me to do that kind of thing, pushes you to do leadership opportunities, is like, I think it's what everyone kind of needs, so that was really useful. Yeah.
Awesome. So Rhiannon, tell us, what is Remember September?
So Remember September is essentially an elongated SAD week. So what it means is that there's a longer time to bring in all the new aspects of SAD that's changed, because it's recently changed from Students Against Driving Drunk to Students Against Dangerous Driving. So it means there's more time to bring across more events that cover all of the issues that we need to bring across.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Question to you, Claire. Yep. Now, they say country folks die on country roads.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot more element of the whole driving drunk in the country?
Well, 700 teens have died on our roads in the past decade. So, I mean, in the country, it's in a kind of community, so it's deemed kind of unacceptable and not cool if someone actually does drink drive. So having all your peers and all your friends on board with kind of, it's not cool to drink drive, I think it helps a lot, because if one person does it, they get shamed. Yeah. So it's really deemed not cool. Now that I think SAD helps with that a lot as well, just making it cool not to drink drive. Yeah.
What's the important message that you really need to get across, Rhiannon, about Remember September to teens?
Well, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to bring in the new SAD. So as you know, it's changed from Students Against Driving Drunk to Students Against Dangerous Driving. So with that, we've brought in 6 new principles. So we've got no distractions, safe speeds, sober drivers, avoiding risks, driving to the conditions and building experience. So with the new change...
Well done to that.
Oh, thank you. So with the new change, we're just trying to rebrand SAD from the old one. So with that, we just want to set it up for next year, so it's easier to run events for next year so that everyone knows about the change.
Distraction, and is it the T word? The texting?
Texting, that's a big one, and eating as well.
Yeah.
And eating?
Yeah.
Eating and texting, it's very skillful, and trying to drive a car. Quite frightening, really. Yeah. What's happening at Oxford School then, Claire?
Remember September? Yeah. Well, we've
One
of the biggest things that we do every single year to kind of get people in the mindset of, no dangerous driving is an activity we call stand up and be counted. So in assembly, one of us sad leaders, say Ree or I, would stand up in our assembly and we'd give the students in the audience a scenario of a car crash, and then we'd get people to stand up in different groups of categories, such as, you know, ambulance drivers or funeral directors or friends and families. And at the end of the activity, the look on people's faces as they look around, realising that all these people are affected by one crash, it's quite significant because, you know, you don't really see it until you can actually visualise it in front of you. So
you did right. Actually, I had dinner with a friend last night, and he's a detective actually around Eora, and he said that's exactly right. People do not realise the impact from that one accident, how many different circles it affects, and I think that's the whole thing. So Rick and Hive, what's happening there, Rhiannon?
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring in at least one of the 6 new things in each event. So one of the activities we're doing, it's called distractions. So we've got a circuit set up, and so people go around, and at each circuit there's a different question, and at each question there's a different distraction. So people have to try and answer it while we're distracting them, just to show the effect of how easy it is to be distracted and how hard it is to focus on what you're trying to do when there's all these different distractions going on.
Do we need graphic visuals of the result of an accident? Yes. Does the shock factor, would that help, do you think?
Yes and no, because like the shock definitely scares people into not wanting to drink and drive or text and drive or anything like that, but it doesn't necessarily educate them on why they shouldn't. It just gives them a fright and that's it.
And that's what it's all about. So Claire, is it really about the education?
Yeah, completely. Because a lot of people, like, they know what happens, they just don't want to accept the fact that these things happen. Like, if you see a YouTube video on, you know, a car crash or something, you don't really comprehend that that has actually happened and, you know, someone has lost their lives, and, you know, all these movies about car crashes and stuff, you know, that actually happens in real life. So it's educating people how to prevent that kind of thing, and SAD helps with that.
Exactly. So I think the best thing we should do probably is go to your website. So it's rememberseptember.org.nz. What can we see on that website to help us?
Well, we have things like activities to run in your school, and kind of we have lots of statistics on there about things, you know, like the 700 teenagers dying kind of thing. And if anyone wants to get involved in SAD, just head to that website and you can pretty much it tells you everything about the programme, everything you need to learn to run it, and how to get in touch with people like Rhea and I to teach you.
That's cool. Well, you're great ambassadors, and girls, congratulations. We did talk off camera that this is your last year of school, and you're heading off potentially up north for you, Rhiannon, and down south for you. I'm sure you'll be long life friends after all this. So well done to you girls. You should be very proud of yourselves and your families. Okay, stay with us. After the break we head out to Rangiora Vets and we meet Clyde the dog.
Our new companion package is a personalised service for those that need extra help and support. A cost-effective solution for someone who needs more than just a taxi driver. Our drivers are handpicked from our experienced team and specialise in providing the right support and companionship. Home safe every time with Blue Star Taxis.
Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Stay Well Pharmacy. Whatever the season, Stay Well Pharmacy has you covered. As an integrated pharmacy, we stock all the well-known pharmacy medicines, as well as quality nutritional and herbal treatments. Our team of pharmacists and full-time naturopath are here to help you find the products and advice to suit the needs of you and your family. So come in and see us at Stay Well Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road in Hornby. Stay Well Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference More Mobility makes.
Undergone home renovations? Looking for that special something to complete a room? Look no further than the Hitching Post. Their extensive range ensures you can find that special something. From plasma cut metalwork, to candles, artwork, weather vanes, or even a customised gate. So come on down to the hitching post, 722 Marshland Road.
It's wonderful to get into the country and head to Rangiora Vet. It's such a lovely way to spend the day, and we met this day Clyde the dog, and he's in for kneecap surgery. Interesting.
Today at the Rangiora Vet Centre, Rebecca is performing surgery on Clyde the dog.
I'm Rebecca Waite, I'm the consultant orthopaedic surgeon here at RVC, and we've just got wee Clyde here who's just about ready to go through to surgery. He's ruptured his cranial cruciate ligament, or what's called the ACL in humans. Pretty common injury in dogs. It's the most common orthopaedic injury of dogs. Very, very painful, as I'm sure people who have suffered an ACL rupture know, and definitely best treated with surgery. So wee Clyde's leg is all prepped up, sterile. He's anaesthetised. He's hooked up to his anaesthetic machine. He's got a warm air blanket on, and we're monitoring his blood pressure, and he's having fluids and painkillers through his drip. His wee knee has had all the hair clipped off so that we can reduce the chance of him catching an infection from his skin bacteria during surgery. And we can see, having a wee look at his knee here, he's got quite a lot of instability here between the two wee bones of his knee. You can see that moving back and forward there, and it shouldn't really be moving at all. There should be movement between the shin bone here and the thigh bone here. We've got a model of a much bigger knee here. This is probably a Labrador sized knee. The cranial cruciate ligament lives right inside the joint in here and stops the movement of the shin bone forward against the thigh bone. There should be no movement in that direction. When that ligament does rupture, every time the dog stands on his leg, the shin bone shoots forward and almost dislocates a little bit, so it's obviously very painful. There's several different types of surgery that can be done for this injury, and the one that we're going to do on Clyde today is called a triple tibial osteotomy. It involves redesigning his knee a little bit so he doesn't have any movement between these two bones when he stands on his knee. So we need to do quite a lot of x-rays and measurements and planning to make sure we do this correctly for Clyde. So we can go through and have a look at his x-rays and see the pre-ops planning that goes into this surgery. So it was before he had a very steep bearing angle on the surface of his shin bone. Now he's got a really shallow one because we've tilted the whole thing forward, made some cuts here and put a big plate on, and he's got 6 wee screws in there if we look at it from the other angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, holding those cuts in the bone in place while they knit back together again. And I'm happy with those x-rays, everything's in the right place. I haven't put any screws anywhere that I shouldn't have. So we're just going to go get him bandaged and make sure he wakes up comfortable. This is that bony bump that we were looking at before, and when we put some weight bearing through his knee before it moved forward. Now with the angle changes that we've made, it doesn't move forward when we put weight bearing force onto his knee. So he's aware of what's going on with him now. He's responding to touch. He's wrapped up in his warm air blanket still, and he's still receiving all his pain medicines through his drip. And we just spend quite a bit of time with these guys over the day, just gently touching around where their surgery site is. So we're not squeezing very hard, but we just want to test to make sure he's not sore. So just very gently touching and squeezing his leg through the bandage, and he's not reacting to that at all. So we're very happy that he's comfy, and we'll just keep doing that every half hour or so and making sure that he doesn't need any more medications. In a couple of hours, when he's a little bit more awake, we'll offer him some lunch because he's probably starving. Hasn't had anything to eat since 9 o'clock last night, have you, mate? And hopefully he'll be going home tomorrow, back home.
Join us next week when Rebecca the vet introduces us to Nick, who has mobility issues.
Stay with us after the break. We are joined by the Lions Club finding out about our Women's Expo. See you soon.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you?
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
We all know the best thing you can do for your body is eat fresh foods in their natural state. The same applies to your skincare. Southern Skin provides a skincare range with fresh, locally sourced ingredients, plus natural preservatives and emulsifiers to produce the best nourishment for your skin to unleash your healthiest complexion. New Zealand olive and aloe skincare for young or old, men, women and children. There is a product in the Southern Skin range for you. southernskin.co.nz.
Our new companion package is a personalised service for those that need extra help and support. A cost-effective solution for someone who needs more than just a taxi driver. Our drivers are handpicked from our experienced team and specialise in providing the right support and companionship. Home safe every time with Blue Star Taxis.
Tell you what, Christchurch is a village. Just realised here that Gillian Stewart actually sold me some lozenges. How's that? At good old Chris down in Waireki Road, isn't it? Right in the corner. It's huge, the pharmacy around there.
Moved from the one side of the road to the sunny side of the road. Chris Healthy Living Pharmacy, corner of Greers and Waireki Road. Lovely, lovely environment.
Yeah, pretty cool. And we'll talk about them further in a moment. But so you are a member of the Christchurch Host Club for Lions.
Correct. Yes. Christchurch Host is one of the oldest clubs in Christchurch, and like all clubs, we're wanting new members. If you come along for a meeting, we shout you a meal and we explain to you what Lions is all about and join a good, healthy family.
Well, let's talk about Lions, because when I think of Lions, I think of the mints.
Yes,
isn't it a little bit sad? But I mean, they've been around for dogs' years, haven't they?
They have been around for dogs' years, and you don't have to be old to be a lion. We take all age groups, and the only reason you aren't a lion is when you pass away. So
you take cougars as well?
Definitely. Better,
Yeah,
more the better. More the better. More the better.
Heard that, lads. Crikey.
Lions is an organisation where you're invited to join, and it is we have structured like good committee meetings, good meetings. We usually sometimes have a guest speaker, and we learn about what's happening around Christchurch, and that way we also learn who we can help with some money if people need money. If not money, we can actually help them. Like most of the time, Lions are known for doing playgrounds and things like that, but we also do other bits and pieces. There's quite a few people who do wood chopping, selling horse manure, chicken manure and things like that. Pea straw.
Helping left, right and centre, really. Hey, there's a Women's Expo coming up, which is pretty exciting. Can you tell us all about that?
That's on the 4th and 5th of October. It's a Saturday and a Sunday, and it starts at 10 o'clock through to 5 o'clock. And we will be there with a stall with some photographs, and there'll be a lot of different people talking. And, well, that's what I do best, is talk. And people come along and see what Lions is all about. And if they want to come to a meeting, we can put them in the right area to a club near them, or they can come and see us. We meet the second and fourth Tuesday at the Papanui RSA, and we have a meal, and then we have a meeting, and I'm home in time to watch my favourite program.
And what's your favourite program?
Well, it's always NCIS.
Oh, there we go. Oh, jeepers. Now tell me, it says it's a women's expo. Is that because you've got a lack of women members, or what? Is that just the angle?
Women's Expo has been running for some years, and it's for women to go along and have a look to see what women can do. But it's not necessarily all for women. There's men at some of the stalls, there'll be men who come along and have a look too, but it's an opportunity for women to be able to meet other women. I suppose there'll be some cosmetics to buy if you want to buy cosmetics. There'll be some fitness bits and pieces. There'll be groups like ourselves, like Lions. There might even be church people wanting to get more members back into the church or things like that. It's a whole broad spectrum of anything that women want to do. You can be there and can see it. They might, oh no, it'll be past the election, so there won't be any.
No, it's all over Red Rover next week.
Yes,
hey,
true.
what event are you fundraising during October? Is there anything special?
We've got 2 barbecues coming up, which the barbecues are real fun. It's a time when we do all the hard work and people get the nice sausage and bread, which we always put marge on, and the old Tom sauce. But it's also a fellowship for us to meet other people, and we like to try and support the youth in the Papanui area. Recently we gave the Papanui Police, I think it was $1,000 to put some children out to the course out at Burnham.
Oh, right.
So,
okay.
And there's a community garden starting up shortly, and we hope to be part of that also. So it's in Papanui area, we try to support where we are, and especially meeting at the Papanui RSA. And the Papanui RSA are having a Oktoberfest in the beginning of November. So as club members, we hope to go along there for a fun evening too. So we just don't only do things for ourselves and help the community, but we also support each other.
That's fantastic.
And Lions have been around for a long time. We'll be celebrating 100 years in a year or a couple of years' time. And our motto is we serve, and that's what we do.
And you do it so well. You do see Lions everywhere. When you talked about before about you do want the younger members, what age are you talking? How old can you be to be a Lion?
Well, usually there is a group that can join up in high school and be called Leos, and we would like to try and start a group in Christchurch as Leos around a high school, or it's just any age you can join a Lion Club really. As soon as you leave school you can come in. But majority of young ones sort of see us as being old, and we are getting on in our age too. But we've managed with a couple of new younger members, and I tell you what, they make a big difference to the club, and they're all welcome. It comes into a family, and it is like a family. We look after each other, and we have a ball.
And I don't think it's actually age, is it? I think it's when you've actually got that spare time, because when you're younger and you've got a young family, time is pretty precious. You're running from here to there, so I guess you do see maybe older members because they have some of that time freed up, I guess.
True, but there's also, you always ask a busy person to do something, and so
you get it done.
But we have with Lions, your family comes first, then work, then Lions. So
Nice.
that, but we also collect glasses, and this is something that Chris Healthy Living Pharmacy, you can drop your old glasses in and they get sorted by Ferrymead Lions Club and they get sent over to the island. So all old glasses, all old spectacles and things like that.
Frames?
Frames the lot, and they just source, they gauge what strength they are, and they get sent over to the islands, and they've been doing that for a number of years, and they've received lots of awards for what they've been doing.
It's as simple as that, just any old glasses you've got hanging around home, you just take them into Chris.
Chris Healthy Living Pharmacy on the corner of Wairaki and Greers Road, and the girls there will only be too pleased to take them off of you if I'm not there. But if not, pop along to Women's Expo and say hello.
Oh, you've got to pop in and see this lovely lady. Thank you so much for coming in, Gillian. You're a great beacon.
Did the lozenges work?
Yeah, they did work. They were
Great.
awesome.
Great.
They did, sincerely
Great.
did.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Great.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the show tomorrow. 41 years young, Noel Lemmingers, and we catch up with the Managing Director and Andy Pope from AMP. Enjoy this video. See you tomorrow.
Today at the Rangiora Vet Centre, Rebecca is performing surgery on Clyde the dog.
I'm Rebecca Waite, I'm the consultant orthopaedic surgeon here at RVC, and we've just got wee Clyde here who's just about ready to go through to surgery. He's ruptured his cranial cruciate ligament, or what's called the ACL in humans. Pretty common injury in dogs. It's the most common orthopaedic injury of dogs. Very, very painful, as I'm sure people who have suffered an ACL rupture know, and definitely best treated with surgery. So wee Clyde's leg is all prepped up, sterile. He's anaesthetised. He's hooked up to his anaesthetic machine. He's got a warm air blanket on, and we're monitoring his blood pressure, and he's having fluids and painkillers through his drip. His wee knee has had all the hair clipped off so that we can reduce the chance of him catching an infection from his skin bacteria during surgery. And we can see, having a wee look at his knee here, he's got quite a lot of instability here between the two wee bones of his knee. You can see that moving back and forward there, and it shouldn't really be moving at all. There should be movement between the shin bone here and the thigh bone here. We've got a model of a much bigger knee here. This is probably a Labrador sized knee. The cranial cruciate ligament lives right inside the joint in here and stops the movement of the shin bone forward against the thigh bone. There should be no movement in that direction. When that ligament does rupture, every time the dog stands on his leg, the shin bone shoots forward and almost dislocates a little bit, so it's obviously very painful. There's several different types of surgery that can be done for this injury, and the one that we're going to do on Clyde today is called a triple tibial osteotomy. It involves redesigning his knee a little bit so he doesn't have any movement between these two bones when he stands on his knee. So we need to do quite a lot of x-rays and measurements and planning to make sure we do this correctly for Clyde. So we can go through and have a look at his x-rays and see the pre-ops planning that goes into this surgery. So it was before he had a very steep bearing angle on the surface of his shin bone. Now he's got a really shallow one because we've tilted the whole thing forward, made some cuts here and put a big plate on, and he's got 6 wee screws in there if we look at it from the other angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, holding those cuts in the bone in place while they knit back together again. And I'm happy with those x-rays, everything's in the right place. I haven't put any screws anywhere that I shouldn't have. So we're just going to go get him bandaged and make sure he wakes up comfortable. This is that bony bump that we were looking at before, and when we put some weight bearing through his knee before it moved forward. Now with the angle changes that we've made, it doesn't move forward when we put weight bearing force onto his knee. So he's aware of what's going on with him now. He's responding to touch. He's wrapped up in his warm air blanket still, and he's still receiving all his pain medicines through his drip. And we just spend quite a bit of time with these guys over the day, just gently touching around where their surgery site is. So we're not squeezing very hard, but we just want to test to make sure he's not sore. So just very gently touching and squeezing his leg through the bandage, and he's not reacting to that at all. So we're very happy that he's comfy, and we'll just keep doing that every half hour or so and making sure that he doesn't need any more medications. In a couple of hours, when he's a little bit more awake, we'll offer him some lunch because he's probably starving. Hasn't had anything to eat since 9 o'clock last night, have you, mate? And hopefully he'll be going home tomorrow, back home.
Join us next week when Rebecca the vet introduces us to Nick, who has mobility issues.